Yes. Yes.
Yeah, there's lots of stuff going on. It's quite a season coming up. I just got my script right there. Well read. I'm going to read it right here. It says, all the men and women, let's see, no, it goes, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, no, that's not it. Which scene would you like to hear? The one with the Don and me, or the one where I kill Rosalind? The one where I get to make it with Boomer and Starbucks? Yeah, I like that scene. That's a good scene. Yeah, anyway, I just got this, so I've been reading it, and we actors are just as terrified of looking at the script as you are watching the episodes, because God knows what's going to happen, right? And especially in a season like this where all bets are off and anything can happen. Obviously, they're going to take creative license to really go for it. I mean, it's one of those, usually, the sad thing is, usually when shows go off, they go off before their time, and they go off with nobody knowing it, so the end of the season comes, there's been no resolution to anything, and then the network doesn't pick up the show, right? So the show's left hanging there with no resolution, and everybody goes, wait, it's not over, it can't be over. What happened to so-and-so? So at least this time, I think Ron, being a fan himself, said, look, if you're not going to give me a green light for the next couple of years, I know I'm going to have 2 seasons in order to create a story arc. If I'm only going to have 1 year, then I'm going to take that 1 year and bring it to resolution. I don't want to end up at the end of this year, and you cancel us, and we never get a chance to finish everything. So at least this time, even though I think the series should be on at least 5 years, if not longer, seems like every time something good comes on the air, you ever notice they can't wait to take it off. And of course, anything that's really horrible that nobody cares about, those executives read these, these new propositions, new stories, and some piece of crap, maybe a piece of crap. Anybody know a really good, bad series that came on the air?
Survivor.
Last Gordon. And it's like, oh my God, look at this. This is great. We got to do this. I always wonder how the executives make decisions on some of the scripts that get green-lighted. You know what I mean? And what they talk, I'd love to go into those chambers and listen to everybody debating what's going to stay on the air and what's going to go off, because that's got to be a very funny discussion for sci-fi fans who actually love science fiction and understand science fiction, as opposed to executives who don't understand. I think the sad part is, listen, executives have a tough job, and there's some very good executives, but there's also people that are in positions that shouldn't be there, that obviously we've all experienced those in our own businesses, right? I mean, that seem to know far less than everybody below them, you know what I'm saying? And won't listen to anybody. So, here's a great show that, again, should have been easily green-lighted for another 2 seasons, but nevertheless, it's going off, and they're actually breaking it up, as you know. They're just playing, they played Razor, then they're going to play 10 more episodes between, over the next 3 months, and then I guess in 2009, and it might be early, it might be January, so you don't have to wait longer than 4 or 5 months, and then you get the second 10. But it's kind of stretching it out, which is a little sad. I thought Razor was really interesting. The only trouble was jumping back and forth between timelines. I thought that was a little confusing, but I loved Michelle Forbes. I wish Michelle Forbes had been on there from the beginning. I mean, what a great character she played. She did an incredible job with Kane. And not only that, but just putting somebody in that position of life and death circumstances, in war, in chaos, and all that craziness, and the kinds of decisions that she had to make. I don't know too many people who could make those decisions. Those, where some people have to die, some people have to live, and in order to maintain order, sometimes you got to do horrible things and live with yourself. And I thought Razor really went into that in a really, really deep, profound way. I mean, Razor wasn't easy to watch in some places, It really kind of brought us up to that moral conflict that we all have when it comes to war. I mean, my God, the horrible things that happen. Battlestar tends to get into all those areas that we in this world have to relate to. Anyway, I thought they did a great job with that. And then the next 9, I think we're filming 9 more episodes. We start When are we starting? We're starting the 24th of this month. So going back up there to Vancouver to start filming, and I do know one thing. I know that there are going to be some really powerfully moving, it's hard to use the right words because we all had to sign disclosure statements this year. I've never had to sign a disclosure statement ever on any series in history. And this is the first time that they don't want anybody letting out information or they will sue you. So anybody gets within 5 feet of that thing right here, I will have to hurt you. Or my assistant's over here. Robert, raise your hand. He will hurt you. Of course, if you're a beautiful woman, you might do other things. No, but never. Did we find someone that can help? Did we find someone that can help?
I found Jean and pointed her into that direction and left Jean to stick them.
Oh, well, we're going to hope that they bring somebody that knows how to run these machines up there so that we can play some of these trailers that I have with me.
Maybe I can help you with that. I'm Paul Rosen with Youth Squad.
Oh, you are?
Probably hook you up to that here.
Yeah, if you can coordinate that, that would be great. I got some wonderful
You probably
trailers
had
to
Adam
play.
Johns, yeah, I think he started to go.
Oh, we are?
Oh, there was a back there, guys. You went to the back there, maybe? All right, okay.
Anyway, before we start, I'm sure you're used to this. Robert, put the hat out, pass the hat around, and place your credit cards in your it's really funny. Most people think actors have been on TV series are rich and have big houses, and some of them do. But the trouble is, they get the big house and the big car, and then of course the next year the series goes off, and everything goes into foreclosure. The hardest thing for artists, whether they're writers or just wonderful artists or musicians or composers or whatever, in this industry you never know what's going to come next. And the problem is, artists don't tend to understand or love the business side of things. And then if you're an artist, you understand that you get taken advantage of in this business. I mean, if you don't understand something and turn it over to somebody else, unfortunately, they tend to run you over with a 10-ton truck. So the key to be successful as an artist is you have to learn business and art, so that the two can go hand in hand. That's one of the big lessons I've been learning over the past 10 years as I kind of become a businessman as well. And I love art. I love great art, great movies, great stories. But I do know that to bring great stories to the screen takes not only intelligence and great skill, but you've got to have guts and courage to get your project through the pipeline. I mean, for Ron Moore to get Battlestar Galactica back on the screen and to get the network to agree to let him do the things he wanted to do, to go into more provocative, more, edgy areas. I mean, usually networks don't give you carte blanche to do that. It really takes somebody who can get up there and really fight. They have to fight an ongoing war. Every script, every time something edgy or something's happening in that script, the writers have to go up against the network who says, no, we don't want this, we don't want that. The original Battlestar, they were upset because Dirk Benedict, Starbuck, was smoking a cigar. So there was a big, huge brouhaha over that, okay? And then they didn't like this about him. They thought he was being too, womanizing, they went on and on and on and on. It didn't matter what it was. But the key is that there's always somebody who is going to challenge you in this business, and you have to be strong enough to fight the good fight. Does somebody know what we're doing?
No one really knows what they're doing.
Today we college and try my best.
Huh?
Daisy in college, I can try my best.
Right. So